Hello, everybody, and welcome back here up at BSN Network. Today is Wednesday, May 11th. Hope everybody's having a day so far and a good rest of their day yesterday. Coming off of a couple big days in the world of sports. I apologize that I've not been able to get a couple pods done. Like I said, this time of year, schedule's pretty crazy for me, this time of year with my baseball stuff and all that good stuff. So I apologize for not getting many pods in today. I'm able to squeeze one in here. We're about an hour and 20 minutes out from the Rangers game, so I was able to get a quick one in here. Probably going to be about around 20 minutes or so, anywhere within that range, and then I'll upload it and go watch the Rangers game as they play for their lives tonight. They got to win 3 straight. We'll touch on them a little bit here a little later. Today's podcast, though, like I said, I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet. I want to talk about one topic only. You probably know what that topic's going to be. You could probably tell by my hat what that topic's going to be. It's the best team in baseball right now, the New York Yankees. I mean, they are dominating. They are playing maybe some of the best baseball they've played in the past couple years. And yet again today, the Yankees come out. And today, I was going to do a pod originally, but it was what I was going to title the video was depending on how today's result went. And with the Yankees' 5-3 victory today over the Toronto Blue Jays, sweeping the tiny 2-game set that they had last night, obviously all the craziness with Judge's walk-off hit to win 6-5, and then today Gleyber Torres, driving in 5 RBIs and the Yankees winning 5-3. With all that happening, the title of the video today is Yankees Dominance, and what I'm going to talk about today is the Yankees Dominance, because right now the New York Yankees are playing some of the best baseball that we have seen them play. You can make the argument since 2017. I know they had a couple good stretches in 2019, 2018, all that stuff, but that 2017 team, the way they played, the energy they were playing at, the comebacks they were making, all of that great stuff. The pitching was good. The offense was good. That was the team that got to the ALCS. And obviously lost in Game 7, but they were playing that good. And it's almost like the expectations, too, going into the year were similar. Not crazy high, maybe a little interested to see why they put the team together. But for everything we've criticized for the New York Yankees this season, they have been great. So we're going to get to them. We're also going to get to the Rangers later on. That will be the New York sports update. So we'll get to fantasy, we'll get to the Rangers, get to all the rest of the sports going on in the world. Obviously, some hockey games on tonight, basketball as well, as both those respective leagues got their playoffs in full swing right now. Avalanche swept the Predators. Other than that, every first-round series is still going on in hockey, and basketball as well. Still a lot going on there. And like I said, look, Rangers tonight. Gotta win. You gotta win. I mean, that's reality. There's nothing else I can say. It's not, it's a big game, Win 3 straight. If you win today, you move on to the next one. When you're down 3-1, you just gotta take it game by game. That's really the only thing you can do. And it might sound wild, but I'm talking about, as a fan, big picture too. Like, you can't say, if we win this one, then we get to host Game 7. No. You got to play this game like it's your championship game. You got to play every game from now on like it's Game 7, because you got your backs against the wall. And the Rangers need to play better. I mean, they've shooting themselves in the foot with penalties, bad defense. I mean, not physical. Guys not taking enough shots, not getting any pucks in front of the net. I mean, it's poor hockey. 14 goals in the past 2 games is not going to do it. So, got to be better. We'll see what they can do tonight. They'll be back at the Garden. But with all that being said, a lot to get to. A lot of positives around New York sports, especially with the baseball teams. Hockey team, not so much. We'll see if they can bounce back tonight at home. Hopefully they can. We obviously all hope to the hockey gods that they can somehow come back from 3 straight, come back from down 3-1, win 3 straight, and move on to the next round. But with all that being said, a lot to get to. This is BSN Podcast. And let's get right into it. So, like I said, I haven't done a podcast in a couple days, and I apologize for that. I haven't done one since Friday, so it feels good to do one today. It's really been hurting me at times when I don't do these podcasts and the Yankees are winning, because I find sometimes that I talk a lot about, the Yankees and a lot about the Mets, but sometimes, when I'm missing streaks like this where they're just winning and winning and winning, it stinks a little bit, because I want to talk about the winning. I want to talk about the positives. And right now, I mean, how can you not love what the Yankees are doing? How can you not be so excited as to how the Yankees are playing. I mean, right now, the statistics show it. Yankees are the best team in baseball. They're not only the best team in the American League East, they're not only the best team in the American League, they are the best team in all of baseball. They have the best record in all of baseball through the first 30 games of the season. They stand at 22-8. They're playing some of the best all-around baseball in the league when you actually watch them play defensively, offensively, starting pitching, all the way to the bullpen. And I feel like really these past two games have yet again shown us all that this team's got a lot of fight. This team's got a lot of heart. This team's got a lot of energy. This is a team that is fun to watch. And this is a team that is going to do a lot more damage this year if they keep up what they're doing. Because this is a team that's coming back in games. They're battling till the finish. I mean, almost everything that the Yankees were last year, they are the complete 360. They are complete 180 of the opposite. Completely turned the other way. It's a big 360 as to what the Yankees were last year as to what they are this year. Because what they were last year was a team that was not hitting with runners in scoring position, was not getting the big hit in big games, was not coming back. Bottom of the ninth, runners on, second and third, one out. Maybe strikeout, then a fly out, game over. Their bullpen was blowing a lot of games. Chapman had a bad, tough year. Your starting pitching was kind of all over the place. Had a couple starts here, was never consistent. And the hitting was all over the place. It was home run or bust. This year's team's the complete opposite. They got a lot of really good contact in their lineup. They're very good this season with runners in scoring position. They're coming back in games. I mean, they lead the league in comeback victories. They have 10 this season. Today was their 10th. They fell behind early, came back, wins 5-3. They fell behind early, 1-0, came back to win 5-3. Now they lead the league in comebacks with 10. Their pitching has been consistent every step of the way and it's been great. And now with Garrett Cole really getting into it, that's been good to see. And I mean, Nasty Nestor is, I mean, right now if the season would end today, he's the Cy Young. There's no debating it. Nasty Nestor is unbelievable. Taking a no-hitter into the 8th inning against the Texas Rangers, as you all know. You see him in Toronto eating an apple in the dugout. I mean, there's so much positivity around this team. There's so much excitement and energy. And even as a fan watching the game, like, you just feel the excitement. And I said this a lot last year. And I sit there and I do the scorebook for the game. And I'll watch as, many games as I can. Right? Anytime I can watch the game, I pretty much watch all the games this season. And, there's always going to be moments where you obviously are going to have those games on a Tuesday night in the middle of July where there's not much energy. But last season I said this, from the day one of the season all the way to the final game, I felt that, in the ballpark, with the fans, and maybe it was, the COVID stuff and fans just getting re-entered and people kind of adjusting to it. Maybe it was that. But I just really felt like last year, even just the energy around the team while watching the game, it just wasn't the same. The crowd wasn't the same, you could just tell by the guys that bat, the defense, you could just tell there's something different while you're watching these games that just makes you a little bit more excited. You really look forward to the games that night. Like last season, as a Yankee fan, you can't always say every night that you were so excited to watch the game at a high, at such a high energized level. Like I found myself a lot last year in the 5th inning watching the game, and you could drop a pin in the stadium and it would be the loudest noise out there. It'd be louder than the ball off the bat. This year, however, it's not the case. Like the fans are into it, players are into it, they're getting hits, they're exciting to watch. Like, it's so great because what we sat through last year was 163 games of a garbage. Obviously, 162 in the regular season and the wild card game that was one to forget. This year, however, through the first 30 games, they've been great. They've been dominant, and it's fun to watch. It's exciting. And not all the time you could say that with Yankees baseball, but this is a time right now where you can say this. And I mean, what I love most about all this is just the way they're hitting in the defense. And I mean, top to bottom, they're playing great baseball. Their bullpen's been very good. Their starting pitching might be the best in the league right now. Might be. When you look at their starting pitching, it's been great. Their hitting's been excellent. Hitting with runners in scoring positions, been excellent. And look, you got to give credit to Cashman in this front office because no, they did not make the big spectacular moves, but thank goodness they didn't. because Carlos Correa's on the IL. He hasn't been playing up to the level he's been playing to. Trevor Story is a complete mess in Boston, and the Red Sox as a whole are terrible. They're worse than the Orioles right now. Sure, Freddie Freeman's playing very well, but Anthony Rizzo's off to one of the best starts in a season he's had in his entire career. So the Yankees made, obviously, the necessary moves, and you got to give credit to the front office because they assembled this team. They put this thing together, and Falefa has been very good. Donaldson has had stretches. He's a hot, cold hitter. I said that when we got him. He's a boom-bust type player. That's the guy he is. It's the reality. But he's had some big moments already. We all go back to the walk-off on opening day. That's one way to make your presence felt. Right? So, the additions, there's all sorts of great stuff going on right now. And you got to love it. And what I like most, another thing I like all of it. I love it. It's great. It's fun. I mean, like I said, no longer are you in the 6th inning and you're sitting back on your couch, you're down 2-1, you're wondering to yourself, what in the world is this team doing? In the 6th inning, you're into it. There's runners on, Judge coming up, big hits left and right. That's what we like to see. And that's what the Yankees are doing. And they're doing within their own division. They beat the, Blue Jays. This is back-to-back series wins. They obviously split with them earlier in the year. They took care of business against the Red Sox. The Blue Jays, they obviously had the rough series early in the season, but then they swept them. They have yet to play the Rays, but if they keep playing like this, they should be able to handle the Rays. Right now, the Yankees, if they keep playing the way they're playing, can handle any team in baseball. They have the best record in baseball. And last night's home run by Judge was great, was phenomenal, was so exciting. I mean, you're down 0-2 in the count against Jordan Romano, who's one of the better closers in baseball, and, Judge hits a tank, 3-run shot, Yanks win 6-5. And I want to say something too, and I don't want this to have this be twisted and thrown in a million different directions, because it very well could, and I don't want it to. Because the 98 Yankee team, I didn't personally witness it. That was before my time. But the 98 Yankee team, from what you hear, from what you see on old replays, old highlights, was one of the best baseball teams the Yankees have ever had, and one of the best baseball teams you've ever seen in the history of the MLB. In terms of just the way they won, how they came back, how they battled, how they fight. What did they win? 114 games? Everybody raves about the 98 team. They were great. And I'm not comparing this team to the 98 team. Although it's, although the starts of the season are very similar, I'm not comparing. And I know to those of you who watched the 98 team know how good they were. And this team, the 98 team and this team are also a little different. The way, but a little different, obviously, in terms of just talent and the skill and what it took to build the rosters. We all know that. But the way the 98 team won games and the way this team won games is eerily similar. And in a good way. I don't mean in a bad way, in a very good way. And if you all know, and I know the replays and you watch the highlights, the 98 Yankee team would win games. They would go into the bottom of the ninth, top of the ninth, whether they were home or away, whatever it was. They'd go into the last inning down by 4 runs. They'd come back and win by 2. They go to the last inning, down 2, come back, win. They were a comeback team. They were a team that would just make these epic comebacks. I mean, I think there was a couple 4 or 5 run comebacks that they made. Because they just, they realized what the task was. They just dialed in. They focused up. They hit with running scoring position. They did the job. They were dominant in comebacks. They played great from behind. This year's Yankee team leads the league in comeback wins at 10. You got the walk-off hit last night. You got another comeback win tonight. You had Gleyber Torres' walk-off against the Indians. Very similar. And you look how much success that 98 team had with the comebacks. And why the Yankees are having so much success is they're going down battling. They're going down fighting. They're coming back in games. No longer can you say, oh, well, the Yankees, this game's over. They're down by 3. No, the Yankees are coming back. I mean, they showed that last night against a very good closer in Jordan Romano. And yet again today, got off to a little bit of a they got off to a quick deficit. Took a couple innings to get the bats going. They had the big inning in the 4th. Then added 2 more on in the bottom of the 6th, and the bullpen took care of the rest. So you gotta love it. And that 98 team had so much success. You want to know why? Because they fought, they battled, they kept going after it, they did what they needed to do. Yankees team, you want to know why they're having so much success? They're hitting with runners in scoring position. They're battling, they're fighting, they're coming back. And these other teams now are having to use these high-leverage guys all of a sudden these 2-3 run situations. And now early in series, and even you talk about postseason. I know it's so early, but if teams have to roll through their bullpen in the first game or two of a 4-game series, now you have the advantage the rest of the way. So everything about this Yankee team right now, you gotta love, and it's great. It's awesome. I mean, it's excellent from what we sat through last year, like I continue to say, to what we've had to go through this season so far, which has been phenomenal. I mean, what we've had to watch this season is one of the best baseball teams in baseball right now. It is the best baseball team in baseball, and I'm going to stand by that. They have the best record. Yankees are the best team in the major leagues right now. That is a sweet, sweet saying to say. It is great, and boy, oh boy, am I pumped up. I am fired up. Watching last night's game, seeing Judge hit that, I mean, just the excitement around this team, in the stadium, around this fan base. I mean, there's so much to love if you're a New York Yankee fan right now, and rightfully so. You're 22-8, got the best record in baseball, and that record translates. Yankees are the best team right now in baseball, no doubt about it. All right, so tomorrow, just to give you a quick preview, like I said, this is their weird stretch in the schedule. They'll play 4 against the White Sox, 4 against the Orioles, then 3 against the White Sox, then 3 against the Orioles. So the next 4 series are against the White Sox and the Orioles. That's it. Tomorrow, Luis Gil will get the start. So he will be on the mound tomorrow for his first start of the 2022 season. He obviously had a lot of success last year, pitching to a 3.07 ERA last season with the Yankees. We hope that he can do the same tomorrow against the White Sox. So you have 4 coming up against the White Sox, like I said, then the Orioles, White Sox, Orioles, and then late May you got 4 against Tampa in Tampa. So that should be a interesting series. I'm excited for that series. That's kind of like the last. That's kind of like the last big test for the maybe the negativity out there saying the Yankees aren't legit. That'd be the last 3 tests because the Yankees have gone through all their tests. I mean, they've done everything they needed to do. They are the best team in baseball right now. They're doing everything they're doing. They got a plus 52 run differential. I mean, their pitching's been great. 8-2 in their last 10. They're 15-2 in their last 17. And a quick stat I wanted to show you, just to show how great of a start this is for this Yankee team and where starts like this have taken them over the years of a historic franchise and great history. But what I want to show you what these starts have taken them to, because right now 22-8, one of the best starts they've had in franchise history. Now, here we go. So the best 30-game starts to a season in New York Yankees history. Here we go. So the best ever was 24-6. They did that in 1928. They won the World Series. They started 24-6 in 1939, won the World Series. 24-6 in 1958, won the World Series. The 98 team now to 23-7. 98 team started out 23-7. They won the World Series. 2003 they started out 23-7. They lost the World Series. Obviously still got there. Now to 22-8. 1923, they started 22-8, won the World Series. 1932 won 22-8, won the World Series. 1950, 22-8, won the World Series. And obviously, 2022, they're 22-8. Hopefully, in October, at the end of October, we look at that, and it's won the World Series. So it just shows you, just putting that out there, good starts to the season have translated to a lot of winning, to a lot of excitement later in the year for the Yankees. And they're doing it, like I said, within their own division. And you talk about, home field advantage. You talk about winning. I mean, right now, Yankees are, they keep playing like this. Boom. They're just, they're great right now. They're the best team in baseball. So, Yankees dominance continues. Get the win today. They'll be back in action tomorrow to start up a 4-game set in Chicago against the White Sox as they have a little bit of a road trip there. Go to Chicago, then Baltimore, and I believe back home after that. So that is what's going on in the world of the Yankees. A lot of positivity, a lot of great stuff going on with the Yankees. All right, so let's get to the New York sports update here and the rest of the sports going on. As for basketball today, you got 2 games, Celtics, Bucks, and Warriors, Grizzlies. I'll take the Celtics, and I'll take the Warriors. As for hockey, 3 games tonight. Panthers, Capitals. I'm going to take the Capitals. I'm going to take the Panthers, actually, at home. Take the Panthers. And Flames, Stars. Give me the Flames at home. Rangers, Penguins tonight. Rangers down 3-1. Penguins up 3-1. Must win for the Rangers. Got to win 3 straight. 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Over-under is set at 6.5. And, yeah, look. Reality is you got to win. I'll give it to the Rangers. You got to battle. You got to fight. You got to be more physical. I mean, you can't have defenders standing around. I love Adam Fox. I love him. But what are you doing on that Jake Ensel goal? I like Ryan Reeves a lot, but he was not existing the other night with physicality and hitting people. We got ragdolled in those 2 games in Pittsburgh. I mean, we allowed 14 goals. The defense has to be better. And sure, Igor to a certain extent has to be better. But a lot of it's on the defense and the penalties. And the fact that Mika Zibanejad, another great player, was awful against Sidney Crosby. You got to win faceoffs in your own zone. I mean, the Pittsburgh dominated us for 6 periods of hockey, maybe 5. The one period that we dominated them was the second period of Game 3, where we came back and tied it up at 4-4. Other than that, it was all Pittsburgh. I mean, that third period was probably the worst period of hockey we played all year in the game on Game 3. Game 4, there was nothing good. Even the third period where maybe you could say, okay, come out, battle a little bit, show some fight. Just forget about this one. Maybe take what you did in the third and, try to build off of that. We were awful in the third period too. So, not the Yankees. Yankees don't have to worry about anything right now. They're dominating. It's great to watch. But Rangers, on the other hand, you got to turn a lot of stuff around. So, they got to come. I mean, they got to win 3 straight. So, it's a tough hole to come back from. Now, the Rangers have, I believe they came back in 2014 and 2015. So, they have came back. It's not like it's impossible. It's easier than 3-0, I'll tell you that. But, the Rangers slogan's no quit in New York. Well, we'll find that out tonight. If they come out tonight and they battle and they win, even if it's a tough, gritty 2-1 victory, that shows you a lot about this team and this coach and Gerard Gallant. If they come out tonight and lose 5-1 and get embarrassed in their home building, well, then you know that something's up. Then you know that clearly there's changes that need to be made to this roster. I'm not saying a whole yard sale of changes, but I'm saying there obviously needs to be something because that can't happen. So, you gotta fight tonight. You gotta battle. You can't be another 7-1 victory. And if you go in tonight and you lose 7-1, that's embarrassing to end your season. Especially the way the first 2 games went, where it was close, it was tightly contested games. I mean, you now all of a sudden and I understand Lindgren's out and Barclay Goodrow's out. But other guys got to step up. And Namath, too, is terrible. He's awful. He's probably the worst defender in hockey. He might be better than Jack Johnson last year. I mean, he was bad. But he's got to stop taking penalties. So, defense is a big thing. And offense, get the puck in front of the net. Your top 6 guys, your top players need to start playing better. Don't be fancy. Shoot the puck. Get the puck in front of the net, score goals, and play defense. And it's back to the fundamentals at this point. So, that's what the Rangers got to do. Backs against the wall. As for baseball, you got the Rays Angels. Angels last night pitched a no-hitter, and then today, Christian Yelich hit for the cycle. So, you got some good pitching and some good hitting as well. Tigers, A's, Braves, Red Sox, Twins, Astros, Orioles, Cardinals, and Royals, Rangers. I'll tell you what, the Orioles, man, they're 13-17. They're not good. I mean, 13-17 is not good, but they're not like they're not like 8-22 or 7-23. They're battling, they're fighting a little bit. They're on a 3-game win streak. I guess they're a little bit more improved than last year. The Red Sox are worse than them. I mean, they could be the Reds right now. It's 7-24. But it's the truth though. The Orioles, man, they're 7-3 in their last 10. They're 3-game win streak. They are I don't know what word I'm looking for. The laughingstock of the league that so far up to this point this season has not been the case. It's been the Reds, obviously, but it's not even like it's these 10. It's not even like they're at 10 wins. They're at 13 wins. They're battling. They're fighting. Not like they're at 7 wins or 8 wins or 9 wins. They're winning a little bit, doing a little bit more winning than they usually do. I'll tell you that for sure. Mets Nationals tonight. Mets also had a comeback of their own tonight. Got to give it to them. They're 21-20. The opposite is the Nationals at 10-21. Tyler McGill versus Sanchez. 7:05 Eastern on Mason, and you could also find it on SNY. Mets should take care of business here, no problem. Let's get to fantasy baseball. I'm currently losing 155 to 107 in my one league. I'm 3-1 in that league, and in my main league, I am winning 136 to 51. So had a couple big contributions today from a couple big guys. I had Gleyber Torres in the lineup today. He got me 11 points. Last night, Judge got me 9. So a lot of positives as well in fantasy baseball. So everything's going well. Baseball season's just off to an excellent start. Excellent start. Fantasy baseball, Yankees, everything's great right now in the world of baseball. So anyway, that will do it for the podcast today. We are creeping up here about an hour out from the Rangers. So I got to upload this and then get ready, get my Panarin jersey on and get ready to roll for the Rangers game. Must win. That's it. So that will do it for the podcast here today. As always, I will see you all back here tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.